Hello and welcome to my show, BottomLine. I'm Prabhu Chawla. Today I'm going to discuss Karnataka because there old chiefs are getting out and new chiefs are being sworn in. I'm going to discuss something more important. What is going to win 2028 Assembly election in Karnataka? Will the change of guard will deliver Congress party a second term or not? Whether the new chiefs will be able to defeat the mighty BJP or not? That's the question everybody is going to ask after the new chief minister takes over. But I'm to talk about three different things. I'm going to talk about that you now require 3 M's which are going to win election in Karnataka. What are those 3 M's? I'm going to discuss in the bottom line. That is a question about what it actually takes to defeat the BJP in an Indian state election. Not ideology, not promises, not manifestos. Those are the decoratives. What it takes is money, number one. The kind that funds booth level operations in 224 constituencies simultaneously. Muscle, second power. The kind that holds a factious coalition together under prosecuted pressure, under defection threats, under a grinding weight of a hostile center government. And finally, third M, the manipulation. The idea that rewires a community 100-year-old political loyalty and points it in an entirely new direction. Today, India's US Chief Minister possesses all three in abundance. DK Shivakumar, 61-year-old, is being sworn in tomorrow morning in Bengaluru. He's just 63-year-old. He has 19 criminal cases against him. He has declared assets worth 1,413 crore, making him, without contest, the richest chief minister in India's history. He waited 3 years for this chair to come to him. He was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. He did not break. And BJP, which has won Karnataka twice in the last 2 decades, should be paying very close attention to him. Because for the first time, they are facing a Congress Chief Minister who brings all the 3 weapons to the table. 3 M's to the table. That is my today's bottom line. The making of India's most dangerous state leader. That is the story. Let me tell you who DK actually is. Because the media coverage of the last 48 hours has focused almost entirely on the transfer of power and not really enough on the man receiving the title. He was born in a small town of North Bengaluru into the Vokkaliga community, Karnataka's second largest community by population, historically anchored to the old Mysore region, traditionally loyal to H.D. Deva Gowda's Janata Dal secular. The Vokkaligas had a simple political rule for the 60 years. The JDS is our party. Their votes, their community organization, their temple networks all pointed in one direction. Shivakumar has spent 30 years dismantling that alignment brick by brick. Shivakumar entered the Karnataka Assembly in 1989. He rose through the Congress ranks not through ideology, but through organization, the ability to raise funds, to mobilize workers, to win election in terrain that Congress had historically struggled to penetrate. By the time he became Energy Minister under S.M. Krishna, a Vokkaliga leader himself, he had already built something rare in Indian politics, a personal network that cut across caste, cut across contract communities, across the financial architecture of the state. And then Delhi discovers his other talent as well. That when Congress governments were in trouble in states far from Karnataka, it was DK, as he is known as, who was dispatched to solve them. In 2017, when the BJP attempted to poach Congress MLAs in Gujarat ahead of the critical Rajya Sabha election, Shivakumar flew in, housed those legislators in Bengaluru resort and held them intact. Delhi won these seats. He was arrested for it. The ED came for him in September 2019. He spent 50 days in Tihar jail. He did not give a single MLA to BJP. He did not negotiate his freedom in exchange for political concession. That is the man who took Karnataka's oath this morning, or going to take the oath this morning. He has got 3 weapons, 1 target. Now let me take each of the 3 M's separately. because each one addresses a specific weakness that historically caused Congress to lose Karnataka. First, money. DK declared assets stand at 1,400 crores as of 2023 election affidavit. This includes agricultural land, urban properties, shares and fixed deposit. Independent analysts and investigative journalists have suggested that the actual figure may be considerably much higher, which is precisely why the CBI case for disproportionate assets remains active. But here is the political reality. In Indian state election, money is not a luxury. It is an infrastructure, booth management, local mobilization, transportation of election day, counter operations against horse trading. All of it requires deep, immediate, uninterruptible financial capacity. In 2019, Congress party lost Karnataka's coalition government not because the people turned against it, but because BJP purchased 15 MLAs and engineered a floor test collapse. DK was not in charge then. He is in charge now. Let me come to the second M. That is muscle. I do not use this word in the crude sense. In Indian politics, muscle means the capacity to absorb pressure and not break under it. DK has demonstrated this capacity at a level that very few Indian politicians have matched in the past. 50 days in Tihar, 24 ED raids, a CBI FIR that the Supreme Court refused to quash. Through all of it, no defection, no collapse, no surrender, no negotiated exit, which many of the other opposition leaders have done with the ruling party. When your opponents have deployed every instrument of state power against you and you are still standing, that sends a message to every MLA in your legislature. This man does not fold, does not surrender. So, for the BJP to engineer another 2019 style floor collapse in Karnataka, they would need to break Shivakumar first. Based on available evidence, that is not easy. And the third most important M is manipulative skills. And I mean this as a compliment to his political intelligence. The Vokkaliga community has for the second time in the recent decades that a chief minister from their own ranks who is not from the JDS. This is not a small shift. This is a tectonic realignment that actually Devagowda's family has spent decades preventing. JDS has now allied with BJP, a decision that many Vokkaligas view as a betrayal of the community's secular political tradition. DK elevation is a direct message to every Vokkaliga voter. Your community's future is here. He's young. He's in Congress, not in Devagowda's party that is now a BJP satellite and also sinking. And if DK can consolidate even 60% of the Vokkaliga vote under Congress by 2028, combined with the OBCPs that Siddaramaiah built, and the Dalit and Muslim consolidation that the 5 currency schemes have created, BJP does not have an arithmetic path to power in Karnataka. That is not an analysis. That is pure mathematics. Why BJP has no easy answer? Here is BJP's problem in Karnataka, and it is structural, not tactical. BJP's Karnataka strategy has historically rested on 2 pillars. First, the Lingayat community, approximately 17% of the electorate, a dominant force in North Karnataka. Second, a fragmented opposition where Congress and GDS split the non-Lingayat votes and they handed BJP a plurality. But TK's elevation collapses the second pillar. With a Vokkaliga CM anchoring Congress, the JDS-BJP alliance looks increasingly unattractive to Vokkaliga voters. And without significant Vokkaliga support, the BJP-JDS combined loses the arithmetic advantage it was counting on. BJP's only viable counter is to fracture Congress internally, to drive a wedge between Shivakumar's Vokkaliga base and Siddaramaiah's OBC support system. And here is where the Caste Census report becomes the most consequential political document in Karnataka today. Siddaramaiah handed Shivakumar that report on his last day in office. It is a time bomb. If Shivakumar acts on it, expands OBC reservation on the basis of its data, he retains Siddaramaiah's base, but potentially alienates upper caste interests within his own Vokkaliga network. If he buries it, Siddaramaia's faction, which controls a significant block of the 136 MLAs Congress Richest party, begins to pull in different direction. That's a big challenge. This is Karnataka's real chess match, and it is only just beginning. But the counter argument is this: money, muscle and manipulation may win election, but they do not deliver governments. Karnataka has a 63,000 crore debt from guarantee scheme. Bengaloru's infrastructure is at a breaking point. The IT sector, which drives 40% of the state tax revenue, needs policy certainty, not political theatre. This is a serious argument and I do not dismiss it. But here is the rebuttal. DK spent 3 years as the Deputy Chief Minister watching Siddaramaia's govern. He was the party president who understood the financial architecture of the state before he entered the CM's office. He is not arriving blank-headed and cold. And his personal wealth, whatever its origin, means he is not as susceptible to the financial temptation that have historically corrupted Indian politicians in high offices. The most honest question is not whether he can govern, it is whether the Congress party high command will give him the space to govern on its own terms. That is a question only the next 6 months will answer. BJP has won Karnataka twice, in 2008 and 2019. Both times Congress lacked something fundamental. In 2008, it lacked a credible Vokkaliga counter to the B.S. Yedurappa's wave. In 2019, it lacks the organization muscle to hold its own coalition together when money and pressure were applied. For the first time in 2028, both conditions are answered by the single man. DK brings so much money and resources which are at his disposal. He brings the record of surviving the harshest prosecutional pressure the central government could deploy on him. And he brings the community realignment, the Vokkaliga moving towards the Congress, that changes the fundamental arithmetic of our election. 3 weapons, 1 target, 2 years to prepare. BJP's strategies in Delhi know this. That is why the legal cases against Shivakumar will not go away. They may be revived. That is why the pressure on Congress MLAs will intensify. They are not trying to embarrass him. They are trying to neutralize him before 2028 becomes a referendum on what one man with money, muscle and manipulative skills can do a national party in its own backyard. Whether they succeed, that is Karnataka's question for the next 2 years. That is my bottom line today. We'll meet again to discuss something else next time. Thank you for watching it. Watch my bottom line, subscribe it, share it, write your comment, ugly, sweet, bitter. I will read them but will never mind it. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.